If the world lost all electronics tomorrow, could you still do your job? Not perfectly, not efficiently, but could you actually do it? If I dropped you somewhere with a pad and pencil, limited resources, and people depending on you, would you know what to do next? That question stuck with me this week. Own your mind, move your body, anchor your spirit. This is Own Move Anchor with Kevin Pannell. Here we focus on practical leadership, clear thinking, physical readiness, and staying steady when life and work get heavy. Drawing from emergency response, healthcare, project leadership, and everyday life, each episode connects real-world experience to actions you can apply immediately. 3 pillars, 1 powerful you. You can find more at ownmoveanchor.com, and if you're getting value from the show, like, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Let's get into it. I was watching the Pitt, and they had a mass casualty come in from an active shooter. What stood out wasn't the chaos, it was how fast everything shifted. 1 minute, it's a normal ER day, and the next, it's a completely different mindset. Less about patient satisfaction, more about triage. Who needs help now? Who can wait? How do we do the most good for the most people? And it felt accurate. The way they communicated, how they staged equipment, how they adjusted when supplies ran low, even how they came down after it was over, that part hit me pretty hard too. I caught myself watching it with my wife and calling out treatments before they happened, not because I've seen the episode, but because the fundamentals don't change. You look at circulation, breathing, bleeding, mental status. Everything else builds from there. It reminded me of a large urban fire that I worked with some of my incident management teammates. Long night, multiple departments, people worn down, city impacted, and we were asked to come help them. We showed up with all the tools, the full incident management setup, documentation, planning processes, everything we're trained to bring. But that's not what helped first. What helped was talking to the people on the ground. The firefighters on the hose lines, the officers holding traffic, the folks actually doing the work. They didn't need a long planning meeting. They needed food, restroom, situational awareness, and someone paying attention to what they were dealing with. I go more in depth in this in the previous episode, Pizza and Porta-Johns, so check that out. So what did we do? Instead of pulling everything out right away, we grabbed whiteboards and notepads. We asked what was working, what wasn't, and what they needed next. Then we took the people who had showed up ready to work and put them where they could help. Where if we had gone straight to the charts and the formal processes, we would have lost them. And more importantly, we wouldn't have helped them. That's the difference. Systems help, but they are not the work. When things get stripped down, you fall back on what you actually know. I see the same thing in project and portfolio work, right? Dashboards look good, reports tell a story, but there's no humanity in them. If I don't have data in front of me, I'm not stuck. I ask what's working, what's not, and what we need to start doing differently. A strong project manager can run a project with a chalkboard and a conversation. Someone earlier in their career might need templates and step-by-step guidance, and that's fine. That's part of learning. But over time, you should be able to operate without all of that. I've had programs where everything looked fine on paper, but the team wasn't aligned. You could feel it in the conversations, people pulling in different directions. So we stopped the work, had a direct conversation, reset the why, gave the team a clear direction, and stayed close until things settled. No report fixes that. People do. Same thing on the jiu-jitsu mats. You see people try all kinds of techniques they've seen online, spinning, inverting, going hard. It works when everything lines up. When it doesn't, they get stuck, they burn through their energy, and lose control. What holds is simple. You breathe, you frame, you keep your elbows in, you stay steady. You know your positions, you know how to get out. You know how to apply pressure when you need to. Right? That's what keeps it in when things aren't going your way. And the idea of base isn't just physical, right? It's how you carry yourself. You don't fall apart under pressure. You don't lose your composure when things get hard. For me, being good at my job means you give me a project or program and I can get a team aligned. We agree on what we're going to do, what done looks like, how we're going to communicate, and why it matters. I use tools, I use AI, I use systems, but I also check myself. If I had to do this without them, could I? Because if the answer is no, then I've got work to do. When things matter most, the order should become clear. The most important actions come first. Everything else drops away. Extra steps, unnecessary documentation, anything that doesn't directly help gets pushed aside. You see it in medicine, in emergency response, in training, and in work. So what do you do with that? You don't throw out your tools. You make sure you're not dependent on them. Run a meeting without slides and see if you can still lead it. Take a problem and work through it on paper. Go back to the basics of your field and make sure they're still sharp. Pay attention to how you think and act when things aren't perfect. At the end of the day, the fundamentals aren't flashy. They don't get attention like new tools or new frameworks, but they're what hold when nothing else does. Get good enough at your craft that you can still do it when everything else falls away. Because when the system fails, your skill is what shows. If this episode was helpful, share it with someone who could use it. You can find more at ownmoveanchor.com. I'm on Instagram and X at @Pannell and on YouTube at ownmoveanchor today. If you're getting value from the show, please like, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. It helps more people find the show. Own your mind, move your body, anchor your spirit. 3 pillars, 1 powerful you. Godspeed, y'all.